Hey guys, what's up? Brandon, Dakota here again for another video. Today we're going to be making a response video to Mark Bertrand, however you say it. Now, he's been commenting on a lot of videos lately, so we're just going to be focusing on the comments on the worst reason for you to not go vegan. Those are the comments we're going to be focusing on. So,
alright, let's start it off. Mark, you said hello guys. Let's test your belief and childish insults of anyone who dare not think as you do or as you think you do. Do you own anything made of leather? Is the first question he asks. Mark, I actually do own things that are made of leather.
Gary Yourofsky, a guy who actually knows a lot about veganism, encourages people to wear their leather out. There's no reason throwing your leather out after the animal has already died and suffered for it to be worn. If you bought it, now are we going to continue to buy leather?
No.
No, we're not. But, you know, do we own leather? Yeah, from the past before we were vegan.
Most people weren't raised vegan, so the things that they were given when they were younger, such as me, with shoes, wallet, belt, those sort of things, that may be made of leather, there's no sense in throwing them out now after the damage has already been done. So that's the response to that question. Do you have a bike or a car? Do you ride in anything that has tires? Well, animal products are used in tires.
Alright, now let's just Mark, you have a different definition of veganism than a lot of people do. Your definition, it's more about anything that's like ever come in contact with a dead animal, you can't fucking use it.
That's a bit too extreme.
That's too extreme for me. And now, the reason why I don't support the meat and dairy industry is because they don't treat the animals right. They kill animals, they have animals raped to impregnate them, they do a lot of bad things. And the reason, other than for my health, my own personal health, the reason why I don't buy meat, or why I don't purchase meat, why I don't eat meat, is so that I am not supporting those industries with my money. And buying refined sugar, I don't think if I stopped buying refined sugar that it's really going to hurt their industry very much, because those are like the byproducts of, you know, what they're trying to do. They don't kill the animal just so they can refine sugar. You know, I'm pretty sure on that the main reason they kill animals is so that we can eat them and wear them. And if you don't purchase, if you don't eat them and if you don't wear them, you're basically, you know, you're finishing off, you know, you're not supporting the industry. If you stop eating meat and if you stop buying leather, things like that, that's when you stop supporting the industry. But buying a computer, whether you buy a computer or not, isn't really going to affect them all that much, because those are the byproducts. And I'm sure they could make computers and refined sugar with things other than animal products if they wanted to.
They could.
But, you know, and in the future
that's a bit out
they
of our
probably will.
control.
It's out of our control.
But we are doing the things that, you know, are within our control. We are, you know, not eating meat, not eating any dairy products, no
longer buying leather.
We're not ingesting any animal products, buying leather, anything like that, which we have the means to control.
You know, to live in our world, our normal society today, in our first world country, the United States, we kind of have to come into contact with things that have been affected by animal products.
So Max, I see where you're coming from, but Mark, I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that you should try to, you know, pull others down for trying to do something good and trying to make change, you know.
Maybe you should try recognizing the good things that we say, and sometimes. I don't know if you've ever done that. You know, you seem like a kind of negative.
You don't have to try to pull us down to your level and other people's levels, you know, just because we're trying to do something and create, you know, change here. But I mean, you know, let's see. So what else? Use plastic bags from stores. Well, plastic is primarily made from petroleum. So unless you're talking about some other byproducts, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Anything made of wood? Do you play a wood musical instrument? No, I do not.
But dude, wood is actually meat, if you didn't know that.
Do you watch and enjoy fireworks? I don't really mess with fireworks. I don't really watch fireworks, and I can't really control if other people want to set off fireworks. So, does Mom use fabric softener? I actually don't use fabric softener. I only use just soap. What's the other name for it? Just soap. I just use soap. Actually, I don't use fabric softener. Partly on the fact that I'm just too lazy to use fabric softener, and I'm too cheap. But
too cheap, man.
I assume you wash your hair, shampoo, and conditioner. Yeah, I've checked the list of ingredients, and it's actually vegan. I know you like sugar. Yes, animal products purified from ash from animal bones is used in filters to refine sugar. Like we said, I think it's a little bit extreme to
not eat sugar. And we get most. It's not like we use refined sugar very much at all. Anyway, we're getting it from fruits. So
yeah,
you know what? I might like once a month put some refined sugar on like a smoothie or something because it's not sweet enough because the bananas weren't ripe enough or something.
The next one he says condoms. Okay, you two maybe not. Come on, Mark. Why you gotta insult us like that? Why you gotta insult us like that?
But to be honest, I don't use condoms because I fuck guys. Actually, I fucked one guy, so I don't worry about it.
You're talking about childish insults, but then again, you're making childish insults yourself. Paint, cologne, perfume, crayons. I don't use crayons. Do you use deodorant? Pretty positive there are no animal products in the deodorant I use. Soap. My mom actually has some vegan soap that she's given to me. And I actually have a Mac computer too. I have a MacBook Pro. And I'm not aware of any animal products that are in cologne, so if you could point those out to me.
Yeah, we're worried about animal products in something, not animal products used
not
to
animal
something.
byproducts, yeah. I don't burn candles either, but I think those are just wax. Unless you're putting unless you have some sort of weird ass meat candles or something.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
And then your next comment is part 2. You say there is never reason to eat meat, and you are a pescatarian. I do not. I do eat fish, but am otherwise a vegetarian.
We applaud you on that, man. Good job. It's better than killing, cows and pigs, supporting their.
But
deaths.
you're still depleting the fisheries and eating fish. But anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So not 100%.
Knowing you do no research, as I have pointed out in your videos, well, you're completely incorrect because I do quite a bit of research. In fact, I recommend you read the China Study. Great book, great book. Maybe you'll become more knowledgeable on veganism. Let's see. What about cultures where there is little to no plant life, where only meat can be eaten? I'm glad you brought this up. Mark. Because you talk about the Inuits that thrived on fish, seal, walrus, and whale meat. Well, in this case, where everything is completely frozen and you have no access to plant foods, no fruits, no vegetables or anything like that. Yeah, I can see where when you're living, however long ago, where you don't have the ability to go to the grocery store like we do now. If you have to do it to
survive, it's not necessarily wrong.
And if you have to do it to survive, then I can see where you'd have to do something like that. Although I don't think the diet was too healthy for the Inuits. If you actually do some research, you'll find that a lot of the Inuit tribes actually had chronic osteoporosis, which might be saying something about the diet. And it's 2014, man. I mean,
you don't have to eat meat.
Nobody has to eat meat. It's
a lot of the poorest cultures in the world are
vegetarian
because it's more sustainable. It's easier to get that. Protein is the most expensive macronutrient. So if you're saying that
specifically animal protein.
Yeah, specifically animal protein. So if you're saying that it's cheaper to eat meat or something like that, or it's easier.
Come on, Mark. You should know this. We looked at your channel. We see that you're, you're involved with a lot of. It seems like you're spending some time in Africa or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe
helping some people out there.
In some third world countries. That's good. That's good on you, mate. If you're doing that, but you should understand that, in
some
living in a
cultures,
first world country,
some of the poorest cultures they are vegetarian because it's easier, it's cheaper.
Yes. And, being 2014, living in a first world country, there's absolutely no reason, unless you're an Inuit living in Antarctica, then maybe you have an excuse to eat animal products. But I mean,
they live in the north? Wherever.
Yeah, I mean, just an extreme case. I'm just throwing Antarctica out there for an example, but living where we are now, there's absolutely no excuse. I mean, you can go to the grocery store and get absolutely any fruits and vegetables.
If you have a computer and internet access, I don't think you have a valid, excuse to eat meat.
In the heat of deserts where nothing grows, the Maasai, Samburu, and Rindal warriors of East Africa survived on diets consisting primarily of milk and meat as an example. Okay, basically the same as the